It's something completely, yes, it is. It's something completely unnatural about being on camera. I don't know what that is. But yeah, like, subscribe in the Discovery Channel. Yes, the Discovery Channel, the link is provided below. Get that ID Go as well as that Discovery Go app. You might, in fact, want to provide substance to yourself as well, right? This right here, what I create and make are in fact blogs, my personal life. I wanted to say inhumane, and yet that's not the real word for that sort of thing. But I in fact chill back on the session, as in the blogs, as in kickback 90s style on even that. With the direction, my processing of thoughts. When somebody called me out on, well, your stuff is everywhere. Yes, of course. That represents real human life. That's the point. And even that. So while I'm on this camera is to say you never know where I might in fact even go with that. I'm saying to one all, everything one way is to turn on the TV screen. And I don't mean here. I'm saying Discovery. That's why I'm telling you the links are in fact provided below. Discovery Channel, all the rest, everything on network, all that is provided below. Some people's attention span, some people have, yes, they in fact have issues with their attention span. They want everything to be all quick and sudden, and yet that's not me. I'm completely smooth on the heartbeat, even that. On the grind at my end. Cool, collective, and smooth, except for when I get angry. But yes, today, let me look at my notes, because I in fact am a writer, journalism, and all the rest, right? Industry and all corruption with even that. So I choose to use paper, the old school Oprah, yes, Oprah Winfrey old school motto back in the day. Yes, even on her end with that. So Michael versus Elvis, or the other way around, Elvis versus Michael. I want you, the viewer, to tell me on top of that, as in who's bad. No race involved. It's so funny how everybody try to, yes, trip up on even that, as in throw race into situations. Oh, well, such and such better because this, and no, don't think so. Because intellect is all about the measurement of using your time wisely and your skills, as even moves, yes, loosely on the grooves, even on the toes, and the format with even that in fact takes intellect and not just race or whatever. Racist issues, racism, whatever you like to go with that. So yes, kings or queens, and possibly even queens. Did I just say that? That's not made up. No, it's not. To shed light is to give light. Kings or kings, and possibly, yes, even queens, depending on the half step. That's the madness. Michael Jackson himself, and even Elvis. The things of commonality in which those two individuals in fact shared. People fail to pay attention to even that, as in there's more up underneath that pertaining to even Michael Jackson that I can't even speak on, as in the style and all the rest, as in where he got it from. And that's not a put down. And even on Elvis' side, where he been known to, yes, mess up in life, that's not a put down either. I said both individuals. That's why, yes, we're here. The versus aspect. In my eyes, one is not greater than the other. They're both equal the same. And yet not everybody perceives them the same, because they have a different choice of music, is to say that, yeah, depending on what you like and see. Because on my end, I have a flavor and a taste for Elvis sometimes. That's in fact a true statement, right? Despite me being the color and the shade and make and model on my end, that's in fact a real true statement. I in fact can love and have appreciation as well as adoration for Elvis Presley. But I too can also have a love and infatuation for, yes, I was going to say the one and only king, but I don't want to go there, right? Because it points back to the versus aspect. But even Michael Jackson himself, right? I love the man too. Matter of fact, I got various. When it comes to his sister, yeah, shouts out to Janet as well. When I cussed out, who I cussed out, management team over there, whoever is, let me leave that alone. I should crack up real hilarious on the spot, even right here about that. As in what I like to do, calling out people, shouting out people, cussing out management teams. You don't never know who's working who and what and why, as in the reason. As in who's going to watch this video as well, as in a run and tell that. New Jack Swing. No lock on that. The upper lip. Well, is the bottom line. Remember Michael had that old New Jack Swing, Teddy Riley to be exact. I tried to go in that lane as well. It didn't last too long. I'm saying I got that, but my on my end is more a Prince more than anything. That's in fact a true statement. But yeah, Elvis, it's so interesting how you put these two individuals head to head, and what makes you question more than anything was, okay, some might feel and say that's why the verses is there to begin with, pertaining to many individuals in the masses and all over the world, pitting them two individuals head to head because they say they look so much alike. No, not in skin tone. Well, somewhat. But to have the unique style and yet all goes together where it's the complete exact and not the opposite style is to say and ask, well, who created what and why? And who timed the temperature with that? There's always somebody that come before and then somebody that comes later on, right? Many individuals feel, well, Michael got his style from Elvis, right? So Elvis, that in fact makes Elvis the queen. My fault. I can't edit that out. But that in fact makes Elvis the king. That's what people feel. Well, Michael got his style from Elvis, so that in fact makes Elvis be the top king and ringleader of all. That's in fact not true, because even history repeats itself, as in creates and make the man based off the past decisions of the past of somebody else that came even before Elvis, is to say, well, who was Elvis? I'm saying the individuals that came even before Elvis, because even he got his style from somewhere. You don't just hit the earth one day and say, I'm going to create a style and all this other stuff and set everything else on top of the element with that. And saturate the game on lockout, as in people who try to come and follow with even that. No, somebody did something way before even Elvis himself. The industry and the game. Who's better than who? Helps to do research on even that, as in, yeah, my end as well. And yet I choose not, on my end, I choose not to even go back that far, because I even know what that, as in, what's the point? I ain't looking. I'm saying there's no point, because there's millions and billions of people, and not really, that have come before even Michael and Elvis themselves, right? You'd be here all day trying to find out and figure out on the research, and yet many individuals don't even take the time to do that, the research. They'll just say, well, I just put Michael side by side with Elvis and let that be the end of that, and say Elvis is the king because he holds a white face or Jew or whatever, right? They'll say that sort of thing. And then they'll say, well, Michael was trying to be white and all the rest, and knowing there were skin conditions up under that. Yes, Michael could have been anything he wanted to be, and yet there's still more up underneath even that. The research aspect, medical issues, and stuff like that. Who do you love? I mean, who do you get by with the viewer, I'm saying? What? That just I don't know. Yes, I can have a very highly competitive nature even on my own end, saying, well, Michael is better than Elvis, or, Janet is better than Beyonce. Shouts out to Janet with that. But I don't know. In the end, it's like it really don't even matter, because ain't you there for the show to begin with? From the frontal piece to the end, aren't you there for the show? And nothing else. What is with that? I'm saying us human beings in our competitive nature as well as competitive edge. Trying to say, well, this team is better than this team. I think even that points back to the element of survival. Survival of the fittest. To take something away from somebody is to feel they're being taken away all the way, right? Any living, human, breathing being. I think survival of the fittest points in the direction with even that. Well, let me say that my side over here, being a Michael Jackson fan, even Janet Jackson fans, they surround me, yes, with even that, right? And you got Elvis fans. Well, this is just, our end over here with Elvis is so much more better. Let's kick, Michael Jackson, his team and his fans and all the rest in the face with that. I think that is survival. Does anybody ever question that more in the industry? I'm saying, because to sit on the camera like I'm doing, even on that, is provide the lesson on top of it. What is the competition? What does it serve? Does it help keep you alive? I'm thinking and guessing and sensing it does, and possibly even goes back to the caveman times and days. Because to have groups of people on one end and then have another group of people on another end is to say, well, you got a target audience. Yes, modern times, and yet even way back in caveman days, is to know they traveled in the same way with the groups. Evolutionary I'm speaking on, right? And to do tit for tat is to fight, yes, with even that for survival purposes. Sometimes you in fact commit harm with that, as in innocent people getting away and die, right? And yet you do in fact want to go back that far. Oh, my notes, my notes. I'm real unprofessional with even that. As in, what's the point? Professionalism. Fuck all that and a waist down on even that. That's real in itself. What I said on Facebook, they gonna see that. Shouts out to the player and the love. Yes, and a deck set with that. So, it just is, this is also interesting because even myself, when people feel, well, you brag a lot and all this rest, you're building yourself up and all this, well, there's survival and even that. Because if I don't stay on my game, it's to know I'm going to die out. Discovery knows the same thing. They go on the Discovery, yes. Communications Inc. website is to say they're showing off, yes. When they show off in bold caps, they do things in the way we're all as one. And yet I say they because to be sitting over there as I'm sitting right over here is to say they. I own my own business stuff establishment as well. That's why I have to say that sort of thing. The attachment and the detachment and all that relatability were all strings in and ties together, right? I know I'm off topic, so what? Irrelevant people worry about so much irrelevant things. Leave me to do what I do with even that. As in, if you don't want to stay, then goodbye with even that. But I'm just speaking the competition nature. If I don't stay on my game with even the bragging, if Elvis wouldn't have stayed on his game with even the bragging, Michael Jackson, because even that is standing at the top of the tier. Celebrity. Elvis, Michael Jackson, there was arrogance with even that, right? That serves a purpose as well. Surviving just enough to pay your bills with even that, right? That could be why so many individuals, the fans of these people, lift them up as much as they do on the pedestal and say who's better than who. That's real and raw in itself. To be caged up. Not Michael. Because you got one individual celebrity over here. And then you got another celebrity over here. The fans put them, side by side and one against the other. Michael Jackson and Prince, that points in as well. I'll talk about him in another, This is all industry stuff, right? And yet to take the time to decipher is to try to figure out even that sort of thing. The mindset up under it. Because to say that I'm the king. Who else did that? Was that T.I.? I think that was. Or LL Cool J. Even back then. Right? To build yourself up, that's an all marketing tactic strategy enough to get people to follow you. Building yourself up with that. Saying I'm the king. Because people want to follow people that know not only what they're doing, but not only that, who knows what they're about. And so to say that you're the king of something is to know people are going to in fact rever you with that as you're making moves. People look down on that sort of thing. Yes, when people, because they're like, well, you're not God, right? Well, so what? To get some album sales is to be able to eat, as in feed your mouth on your own end. Because some of these people, they don't outside. Some of these people wouldn't have nowhere to go, even in a survival outside of Hollywood. Didn't I speak on that in my last video? So to stand there all day and scream how much you can be a king and stand mighty on your pedestal is to do just that. Because if you can't work and live amongst regular, everyday, normal individuals, where to go with the job wise? So to build yourself up into something, even an empire, and say I'm a king and set that on top is to say you got to make some money to feed you and your family. Despite sometimes dying, yes, while broke, or yes, in brokenness, or broke still, or how some of these celebrities are, even broke in the grave, right? You just would in fact want to do what I do, and chill back and try to understand all of this. I understand it, and yet not too many individuals do. As human beings, we can't sit and understand everything, and yet we can at least try. Helps to be the example in that, even with the paper. Yes, notes. Insane. Blue suede shoes, was that Elvis? Yes, that in fact was. Dirty Diana, Billie Jean, that was Michael. The love and the passion on the artistic end. Jailhouse rock, commonality with that. When I tell people that my dad died in jail, yes, and his money was gone, and even that's real. I like real stuff. I mean, getting with the quickness. I know my speed is out of touch. As in, can't you make this faster? No, I can't. Because what fun would even that be on my end? I mean, it's nice to entertain somebody, get on the camera, set foot, and entertain, and keep up with the speed and the pace with even that. That's not my drive. Because I already said it. To want that is to go turn on a TV screen, I guess, in case of looking here. That ain't. I'm too OG for even that. Didn't I say that with the mic set? Yeah. So the drone on and on is to do what I'm doing. Yeah, so when it comes to the verses, what I like is in the flow, and I don't mean rap, but moving with the time, swinging freely. Some people don't even know how to do that, like I'm doing, going freely with the time format. That sort of thing you might in fact want to tune in to, yes, the Oprah Winfrey Network. She could teach you that. Going and flowing with the time, and stop trying to be all sporadic in the room. Oh, I got to do, oh my God, and she's talking too slow. No, fuck all that, because that's going to be loser in the end, and it should. Because to not be able to sit down somewhere and actually pay attention is to say, you can't get that far in life with that. Because even it takes a focus. Yes, direction. I know I'm all over the place, and I said even that. But it takes focus just enough to pay attention if you want to be successful in that. I make my videos very, very long. There's a reason why I do that. Some people, they don't pay attention. Queen Sugar is even that way as well. You might want to tune in with people that have issues, what I spoke about in the beginning of the video. You might in fact want to tune into that as well. The Queen Sugar, that's an advertisement. Force your attention span to be there. So yes, so Michael versus Elvis. Getting back to the discussion. I like Michael's voice more so than I like Elvis. I can't get with all that hubba bubba type of stuff. That's not my go. That's not my go. So yeah, my preference is in fact Michael in that area when it comes to the voice. Because I was checking out something last night and I'm like, what? Here we go again with this article. When I be looking for, yes, information for various things, such as this video, and completing and getting over with the scandal and even that. I'm like, man, the way people compare these people, it's like, What does it matter? It's completely irrelevant to life itself. But while they're doing it, I guess I'll just say, Elvis, I like his hip move. His hip moves. Yes, I do. I would in fact take Michael's voice and I'll take Elvis' hips. Does that make sense? Maybe I shouldn't have said that. Maybe that needs to be edited out. No, I think I'll leave that. Fuck off and eat that. So yeah, so that's what I go for. I like Michael's voice and I like Elvis' hips. I like when Elvis, yes, I did, even though I wasn't alive in survival with that, as in a shake a bonbon and twist with that. Possibly even upside down to make it rain with that. I don't mean a stripper pole, hell no. Close enough though. But yeah, what else? Let me see. Oh yeah, Thriller. That too. You know what? Yeah, I had to put that in my notes as well. There is in fact individuals that don't like Michael Jackson. I seen individuals with my own two eyes pertaining to many people in fact hated Michael Jackson, but more than anything, Thriller itself. Wow. You don't go spit in those type of people's faces. No, you don't. You in fact will want to ask why. You in fact do. I mean, I in my past have in fact spit in people's faces like that, but you do. The older you get, you want to ask why. On that, tell me why you don't like Michael Jackson. Do you not like him because you're a hater? Do you not like him because you think the man feels that he's surveying, as in above the rest? Because some people don't like that sort of thing, as in putting yourself above. I spoke about that already, right? Some people might not like him because of the skin tone of, yes, the lighter skin tone. Some people feel he chose to be, and some of them people are in fact white, so they feel like he wants to be like them. You want to ask questions such as that. Why don't you like him? And when it comes to black people, that many of them dislike Elvis and they don't him like that because they feel like he stole and took, yes, from the soul of black, right? It's to ask them, well, question, why did he do it? What advantage did he gain in that? Did he teach us something in the process? All of that. Because to say that somebody was there, oh my goodness, the conversation can point in different directions, even in the realm of religion and God and all that. When you say, well, like I used to say in the past, well, some people might not agree with Michael Jackson. They might not even like him or Elvis because the pedestal thing and the issue in the conversation with that. Why would somebody be placed on the pedestal in that manner, right? And die on the same pedestal, right? It's to ask the question of why would God place them there in the first place? I'm saying, if a God or a universe didn't want that individual to be there, why would a God or universe place a Michael Jackson or Elvis there in the first place? I'm thinking those individuals had to be there to teach us something, a lesson, to learn something. Because to be a human being is to say lessons come around in all forms. All forms, even in a Elvis Presley and even a Michael Jackson. Whether it's the good on the pedestal or whether it's the bad, dying while broke or dying in the bathroom or whatever, overdose and all that, right? There's lessons in all that. Got some people that just tear them down for the hell of it. And yet some of them people, in fact, make themselves look stupid because they fail to even see the lesson, as in what God or the universe is providing. And tearing somebody down, such as a Michael Jackson, with the lessons. They could have been there, placed by God or universe to teach you all type of lessons. Because to know that a human being lives and operates on various levels and angles. Yeah, with that, on the Rubik's Cube, when I spoke about that. Each side, humans have all sides. Michael Jackson, Elvis Presley as well had all sides. The good and the bad, the evil and all the other stuff, right? Making money, being broke, all that. Right? The lessons. That's why I can't really compare these two individuals. It's hard for me to even say. Because while other people sit back and they look at, well, such and such is better, Elvis is better than Michael. And I'm kind of thinking to myself, well, really, who's to say? Because at the end of the day, they're both human beings. It's guiding light and even that, right? It just is. Yes, Elvis in fact had his share of public scrutiny with child molestation, just like Michael Jackson. That's why I'm saying the similarities is so much alike. And I'm thinking even that is a God given. And I almost forgot to say what even that, yes, going off the fly with that. When people feel, well, maybe Satan could have placed them there. Maybe it wasn't God's work, and maybe it was Satan's work to put them on a pedestal, to build them up just so that they can fall or something. Maybe or maybe not. That's what I'm saying, pointing back to the religion aspect of what people believe in, what they choose to believe in, and sometimes what they even fail to see. With even that, human beings are just human beings. They have to go through something, right? So you might say, well, the devil played in that. The devil helped them get on drugs. The devil did this. Some people feel, well, the devil made Michael Jackson himself take his own life or whatever, and the family accused the doctor and all this. It's all type of allegations and questioning what even that. Well, I don't even know. But to say that the human experience is in fact real is to say, well, what is going to be met with you and even that? All type of trials and tribulations, which is the point, which is why you're here on earth to begin with. None of that sort of thing can be escaped, not ever. So don't even try to escape it. When I see people such as a Elvis, yes, Presley or Michael, endure and suffer with drugs every single day and can't escape that sort of thing. Once again, many people, religious people more so, that fail to understand that sort of thing, will say, that's a demon up underneath that, and that's not God up underneath that. You can't really say that sort of thing. You have to leave them with their struggle. See, because we all have struggles. What could be your struggle might not be that other individual's struggle. And yet to put two heads together, your end and a Michael Jackson or Elvis, to put all y'all side by side is to say all struggles are in fact equal. Struggles in fact make the man and woman. That's in fact real. I myself have struggles with the anxiety issues. Could be anxiety disorder. Who knows? I'll make a video about that. But even Michael, yes, anxiety. I have severe anxiety every single day of the week. Which could be why I'm so calm as I am even on camera. That as well could be why Michael Jackson was at his best and even at his peak of being on his grind, even from the small young age. Which could be why even Michael Jackson himself used drugs. See what I'm saying? Helps not to judge with certain things. Where even people try to get their life straight and try and yet certain things don't help the situation when they try. As I'm saying, people that be on drugs sometimes, trying to get clean and stay clean, sometimes there's more up underneath that. Medical issues, health issues and stuff, and they don't even know. Because when I first heard that even Michael Jackson himself, yes, even Elvis Presley, whoever, when you got individuals that they be on drugs, and yes, sometimes insomnia is there before the drug use or whatever, right? Drug abuse can in fact make situations worse, as in harm the body and all this other stuff. But say if an individual suffers with, say, insomnia, it's to ask, well, what's the word for it? Eating properly, taking proper medication for that sort of thing, getting proper sleep, rest, and all that, the meals, nutrients, taking magnesium for insomnia. Because see, a Michael Jackson, maybe even Elvis himself, when it comes to nerves, which is why many of these celebrities, in fact, yes, a lot of times do be on drugs. I myself don't use drugs. Didn't I say that? And yet the reason why is many of these individuals, in fact, be having nervous conditions, nervous situations at play up underneath all that, which is why many of them use drugs to begin with, to settle that. Because to know whether it's an Elvis or Michael or whoever, is to know, okay, well, if you can't sleep properly at night because you're just wide awoke and awake, it's to say, okay, more than likely there's nerves or something or some stress that could in fact involve that, which is why you can't go to sleep. And yet to calm that sort of thing down is to take something with nutrients such as a magnesium. I myself take that sort of thing, 400 milligrams of magnesium, and yet not everybody knows that sort of information, because even back then in their time, the information age wasn't as big and gigantic as it is. I'm saying they had the money, yes, to pay doctors to gain information, and yet some of the doctors in fact don't even know what the hell they're doing, as in they didn't even back then during the Elvis Presley time and Michael Jackson time. It helps to swig on that, as in spit some spit on it, in which I just did, right? Things that people fail to know. People say, well, because one of the first questions I in fact asked for Michael Jackson, Elvis Presley, or whoever, when there's anxiety, when there's not anxiety, it could be, but when there's drug usage and abuse, the very first question I asked, well, is there any type of anxiety disorder there? Because that will help paint a bigger picture for even my mindset to look into the situation as into why they're using something and strung out and coked head out, cracked out. That's why you never want to say, well, you never want to say that's Satan behind that. That sort of thing you don't want to do. Because there could be conviction on even your day on your end during judgment day, right? The cracked out appeal of people. My crush, Whitney Houston, even in the grave. I can't really speak on her. It's going to take me a while to speak on even Whitney, because I have issues talking about her. I do. When I reached out, yes, to the family, Whitney, yes, Pat Houston. Look her up, Pat Houston. I, in fact, reached out to her and talked to her, online for a little bit for, yes, no eyes to see, as in undisclosed, right? And sent her some stuff, with that and the message to make even her nerves be more calm, because to be stressed out over, say, you got to handle, see, because people, yes, I'm all off topic, and yet I should, because even Whitney Houston points in with Michael Jackson and all the other stuff. Remember, it was questionable whether they used to date. That points in with Elvis as well, because even these individuals meet head to head with the celebrity aspect, right? So I got to speak on even that. Pat Houston, pertaining to Whitney Houston, when I contacted her, yes, and sent her a message and some lovelies with even that after Whitney died. Stress comes with that, because people was in fact over there stressing and mistreating and all that other stuff, something you shouldn't do. Yes, a Pat Houston, yes, was completely over Whitney Houston's everything, management and all that, right? That's something you shouldn't do if you don't know the industry and how it's set up, to be contacting her and stressing her out with even that. Because to know that the woman was stressed out from the beginning because of how Whitney was using anxiety. People have anxiety issues they don't speak on. Celebrities. Satan himself can never be up underneath that. That's the real human life struggle that even celebrities can't disappear from. Being on a TV screen. Oprah herself, yes, I just looked at the photo, which is why I stated that. There's really no verses in that, Elvis and Michael. Because to say, if both of those individuals had anxiety disorder and say they never really mentioned it, or possibly mentioned some, because it was stated, yes, Michael Jackson in fact was having panic attacks. I myself have those as well, even in today, 2018. When I don't breathe properly or pay attention to how I breathe, or I get stressed out, they in fact come, right? Elvis, the same thing, is to say, well, that sort of thing was at play. So it can't be saying Satan. Satan is not the responsible for everything. Sometimes I myself in fact crack jokes and say stuff. Well, yeah, demon. When I be screaming on social media and I air out this and say that to people, and I be like, well, tell him I said shut up and dear demon, right? That's just a joke and a play on words. But and yet for these people, well, not me. That's in fact me. But for these individuals is to say, you don't know. Like even God or universe put even that in them. The issues, the flaws. You don't know. I'm saying. Helps it, yeah. Bring awareness on that, because yeah, that sort of thing it is completely a turnoff, right? Oh, my scalp is itching. You I had to check my message. But yeah, you don't want to do that, because even back in Elvis Presley day, not too many people know that even he himself, yes, had stage fright. And then you had Michael Jackson that had the panic attacks and hallucinations and paranoia and all this other stuff, because having too many people around you to say they want something from you, that's going to pose a problem. The lifestyle, I'm saying, Hollywood lifestyle, there's a lot much up underneath that, in which I don't even speak on, that has nothing at all to do with a Satan. No, it doesn't. Yes, people in Hollywood, in fact, worship Satan. Yes, many individuals do, in which I'm not speaking on, right? But when it comes to the medical and all that health situations, yes, with real life people, even celebrities, that where that meets God and universe is to go when you have an issue and trying to figure out, not knowing why somebody is drugged out and coked out and all that, is to go run and ask God or the universe and stuff like that, in place of putting them down. Because real life individuals have that as well. That's why many too people, that's where people fail to understand. Because see, look, to have people on a pedestal, right, and yet it's not really somewhat of a pedestal, it's just that to sell you, as in your art and what you stand for, and your human conditions, as in your struggles of daily life, such as Michael, Elvis did, all that, right? To sell to the masses, once again, is to know those stories are in fact relatable to real living, breathing human being, which is why they bought the albums and still do today of both Michael and Elvis. Because that would be a complete no-go, as well as a joke and scandal and a slap in the face of even that, if Michael or Elvis Presley himself had no real life anxiety issues or something, yes, which made them get on drugs just enough for the public to see that those individuals are just like them. See what I'm going with this? Satan don't fit into that sort of piece. It's off guard, I'm saying. What I'm saying, these sort of things in fact should never be spoken on, as in it should not be seen coming out of anybody's mouth that's in the industry. And yet I choose to do that sort of thing, because there's a lesson in even that. There's a lesson that people fail to see. They do. Yeah, molestation with Michael and Elvis. The similarities, I spoke on that. When it's asked who I go for, I usually go for Tito. I do. That is so funny how I used to joke and say I would in fact run through the family. That's my lifelong living joke. Man, I'm saying, yeah. It's so interesting how, yeah, because if you notice, I lean more towards on Michael's side more so than I do Elvis, and yet I do have them side by side, right? Because see, look, Elvis was in fact way before my time, right? And yet Michael wasn't so much. I'm saying the generations of what you're seeing on the TV. Whatever the TV screen brainwash you with is what you have, right? As in what you focus on more so. So that's not saying I'm putting Elvis away. No, I love the man, right? Gentle, soft, sweet, and heartbreaking in the hotel with even that, right? But Michael is who I seen a lot more than Elvis. During that time period, all on the TV screen, right? Going to the store, and yet you would in fact see Elvis, yes. Time magazine coverage and all that, but even my own self, I don't have too many personal stories in relation to Elvis, the man himself. Being a fan of his, I just like to chill back, lay back, and listen to him. Yes, sing, right? But when it comes to my own personal experience, I lean, yes, more on the end of Michael, because the TV, yeah, and in fact did that, the brainwashing tactic, and the radio station, and this and this and this and that, and the time warp when you go back with that. That is off the hook. Heal the world. It's so many. It's so odd because, see, I know for every generation of folks that love and adore and admire Elvis is to say, well, even Michael, the same thing. Or say when you're thinking, you go back on a research in your own brain and you consider where were you at when you were listening to a Michael Jackson. Janet Jackson taught me that one. Janet Jackson, a singer, his sister taught me that one. Where were you at when you were listening to someone, and what were you doing during that time period? Because it's more odd and strange than the rest for Michael Jackson to be out on the scene and the platform just as Elvis was way back during his time period. The memory aspect of when you were sitting down in your room, bedroom, or playing with your friends, and you hear Michael Jackson's song. Yes, the memory when you think back. The oddness of when you say, ooh, one day I sure would love, when we were all kids, teenagers too. Ooh, I sure would love to do that. Be like Michael Jackson. I'm going to go buy me a Michael Jackson jacket. Yes, I'm going to go, yes, them penny loafers, what we called them back in the day, right? Socks as well. Standing on, the tiptoe and all that, right? Sometimes in the middle of the night to go make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. That as well. No rats involved. No lights either, right? Sneaking downstairs to make stuff in the middle of the night when you know you're supposed to be in the bed asleep. But that is odd when you consider the fact, man, who would have ever thought Michael would be dead? Who would have ever thought Elvis would be dead? That just bring back so many childhood memories. Issues. Sometimes issues of what you don't want to see, as in what done happen in your past pertaining to when you had a struggle or a hardship and how you turn those people on the radio or something. Just to or on the TV screen just to look and listen, right? The issues that you tried to escape listening to and worshiping. Yes, a Michael or Elvis. The timing of when people live and then they die. That's so odd, because I can sit at Elvis Presley photo there, right? Or see the magazine, yes, newsstand, whatever, in the grocery store, whatever, and then sit Michael Jackson photo there, yes, Whitney Houston, whoever. Because celebrities are in fact dying every other day, if not every day, right? Year after year. But you be like, wait a minute. It does something to your mind. It flips your mind, because you're like, wait a minute. When I was younger, because even technology and all the rest points in with that, right? We didn't have internet. The only thing we was subjected to was in fact a TV format. TV, and then back in Elvis time, and even way before that, you even had like the radio and all that before television, right? Technology in fact takes off, doesn't it? That's off the hook, because see, to know I gotta watch a TV screen and a radio, and yet I can't get online to look those people up. I'm saying way back then on the internet, because that was vintage back then, right? It's odd and it's strange, because you like, well, these people is going to live forever. That's what you be having in your mind from the TV and the radio, how it's broadcasted pertaining to the marketing and all the rest tactic of the industry. It makes it almost appear almost immortal. Michael Jackson touring after he passed away, Immortal, and yes, and all the rest, yeah, all that points in as well. Live stage performances too without touring, Immortal, right? Dancers and all that, doing that, and his kids going to see that, right? You want to ask, where's Lisa? Yes, Marie Presley as well, right? Man, she would have in fact been a Lisa, yes, Marie Presley Jackson or something. That would have been odd too. But yeah, with these people, the limelight in a sense, when you're young children and you don't really know how to comprehend these sort of things, is to say these people are never going to die. They're completely, I want to say there's no immorality in that. But that's in fact the wrong term. But they are in fact seeming immoral. Not, well, that too, immoral. But am I using the term out of context? I might need to pick up a pen and paper on that. Is there any immortality? Immortal. Do I live forever, or I die out over time? How does that go? I just be feeling so odd and so weird sometimes speaking about these individuals on the playground on my end when I be on Twitter, right? And people, they in fact be wanting to talk and hold conversations, right, about various celebrities, and many of them are in fact dead, and I be like, man, what to say? Because I be feeling out of whack with that part. Because I can't I'm still trying to process even Michael Jackson's death. See, Elvis, I don't really understand because that wasn't my time period. I spoke on that already, the generation. And yet I still have yet to process even Michael Jackson's death fully, because it doesn't seem right. It seems odd in itself. It's just as odd as a Donald Trump being in the White House or something. Like how you look at something and you be like, well, that's strange. How does that come to be? How could that even be? How could that even happen? Because I remember like it was yesterday when I was standing out on my front porch. A bat came and swooped down while I was on the phone. I was crying in the phone and it slapped me upside the head, right? A bat. Yes, at night. We used to have this bat that used to fly around and all that other stuff. Yeah, which is too why my mom got rid of one of the trees that was out in the front, because I was like, was it hiding in there and then coming and swooping around? You would just be outside randomly and would come and swoop. But on that night of Michael Jackson, yes, me trying to process his death is to say, is that real? Which is why possibly many fans, in order to keep him alive, is to make up, when they make up all these stories, yes, many fans and all the rest, and with the Immortal, with that, be trying to say he's not dead and going out and airing people that look like him to make it seem like he's still walking this earth and all that. Michael Jackson is in fact gone. I hate to say that. Ask Janet herself personally. Go ask. Well, maybe not, because you might in fact get flipped with the bird or a slap in the face, because even she can be violent. Check out a movie. Tyler Perry's in. Yes, that's a real. It is. Yeah, celebrities, many of them, I said that they're not the nicest people. No, they're not. I can't say no more about that. But yeah, that just, yeah. I don't want to waste no more time with that. But the real life aspect, I can say, let me see, what's relatable on my end to a Michael and Elvis? Where do I fit in with these two people? Because you want to ask yourself that too. You don't want to get to love and follow and admiring somebody, right, just for the hell of it. You want to, especially when they're famous, because even that could lead you down. It could lead you down a dark path. To watch and be entertained by somebody is to first ask, well, the question, why are they there? Why are they there entertaining the masses and the public, right? What do they feed the masses and the public? Is it love? Is it hate? Is it game? Is it what? Right? And then with that is to ask yourself, how do I in fact relate with that celebrity? What do I in fact hold in common? Only a brilliant mind will take the time to question these sort of things. Everybody else will more likely fall off with that. which could be why I am where I am today. The brilliant mind aspect. Once again, ask why the celebrity is there. What do they feed the masses? What do they give the earth itself? Are they there to heal the earth or harm the earth when you're watching a celebrity, right? And not only that, more than anything, the relatable substance pertaining to what do you and that celebrity have in common? What do you have in common before you even, yes, start worshiping or whatever, choose to follow even them? Because when I said that they can lead you down to darkness, when I said that on Twitter and stuff like that, yes, in one of my other videos, it's because that's to not say Satan is there on the playground of Hollywood. No, that's not to say that sort of thing. But it's much more that goes, the work aspect that goes into many of these celebrities' life and their packaging and stuff like that. As in, many of it is real, but more so, many of it is not. The play aspect of celebrities and their life on TV and the footage and all that. Some of that is in fact real, and yet the rest is packaging. So you in fact might want to say, well, why am I watching these people? And not only that, why am I drawn to them? As in, what's the reason? What could be there in me that's lacking, that's within those people that are in fact lacking? Because all human beings in fact have voids. A void. Something that feels like it's missing. And so when it feels like it's missing, the void is to, yes, entertain that void, as in fill it with that, and yet fill it with all the right people and not the wrong. Because for us to worship a celebrity and get to following them and marching after them in line, Michael Jackson, whether that people in fact still follow him even to his grave, as while he's dead and gone, right? Even Elvis himself is to still ask on your end why you like those people. These people, not me. Those people, these people. When I talk and flip the terminology, it's the attachment with the detachment. To know I'm my individual, as well as Elvis and Michael Jackson, as well as Oprah, whoever else is their own individuals, is to say they. Not them versus we. No, they. I and they, right? Yet it's still all of us, the human globe, human population, humanity. Darkness, following a celebrity into darkness is not no. When I say darkness, following them in that manner into darkness, that's to say, depending on the celebrity, that's to not say following after them to darkness in the realm of Satan. Didn't I just say that? No, not that. Following them in the realm of darkness is to say with their decisions, sometimes many celebrities' decisions is in fact not right. It's in fact wrong. It works for them on their end, and yet it might not in fact work for you. It might put you in a realm of even deep, dark destruction, and on top of that, depression. That has to be called out. To follow somebody too much and not having the awareness of your own self, is to say that sort of thing can lead to depression and possibly suicide or something worse. You're going out here and you're committing danger on other people and harming people, such in the style of fashion of September 11th, or what just happened, yes, the other day, Jacksonville, Florida, stuff like that. So you in fact want to make sure you have your own mind as you're sitting as you're sitting, watching, following, and worshiping a Michael, Elvis, or Justin Bieber, or Katy Perry, or Adele, anybody. You want to have your own mind at the same time, because even that points in the direction of individuality, right? For me to sit right here on my own pedestal and tell my own life story of where I relate with Michael and Elvis is to say, well, you know, my dad died in jail. And I'm thinking and guessing even Elvis himself sung the song Jailhouse Rock. Even Michael had his they don't care about us. They don't really care about us. That points in with that too. Me being artistic on a level, I could almost go there on the level of a Michael Jackson. When I put myself on the pedestal side by side with Michael Jackson, it's still to say me and him is human. He's not above me. He never can be as long as he was a human. Well, he was a human. That's a no-go. None of these celebrities could ever live and breathe above me. That ain't gonna work. which is why I carry myself like I am and I do side by side with even a Michael Jackson if he was still alive, and even in death. Carrying yourself side by side with these individuals. Either one, because they're flawed and human. What was. The ones that's living today, I'm saying. Them too, I set myself side by side with even that. It's no bowing down. Fuck all even that. I said that already. And it pisses people off. It pisses their fans off, and it should. Because it say, well, Michael died as well as Elvis died, and Aretha Franklin died, and all the rest is to say, well, what do you have there? Even a coffin that matches. A coffin that matches human life once it's gone. Taken, right? I set myself side by side on any one of these people's level. That's the commonality right there. And even God or the universe created that sort of thing. So it has to be called out, as in laid out with a deck set with that. The cards, like I like to play games. Well, who do you think you feel you are? You got your photos on there with Elvis and Michael photos. Well, fuck off on even that. Because to see that they died is to say, what does that tell you? They was once above you, but once they put into the ground, is to say now they're up underneath you. Recognize and pay attention. And yet in spirit and soul, is to say we're still all equal in that. I say all the right things. Holla back on the player, isn't it? Call in on the touch line with that. No rebound involved, or maybe so, I don't know. Ask Janet about that sort of thing. Ask. That's in fact a true state. Oh yeah, she in fact blew me a kiss while I was at her concert for everybody to see. She likes to do that sort of thing with individuals. Janet Jackson. But yeah, just to throw her in, and now that she's doing whatever is to say what even that. But yeah, that's a real story. Being broke, that too. I should make my next video about that. Being broke when you're not a celebrity. Because to know that you're a celebrity is to know you're going to make all the money. Depending on who you work for, tied in with, do whatever, right? To be on the pedestal is to know you're going to make all the money you can. And yet not all the time celebrities, right? That's in fact a true statement. And yet people that supposedly work up under them don't. To be broke, live broke is to say. I'm saying people like to laugh and crack jokes and enjoy that sort of thing, as them calling out broke people and making them feel bad about being broke. And yet what's the point in that? Because we all living in human, and when we die we ain't gonna be able to take it with us. I'm saying even those people that sit making fun of people that done died broke, or sit making fun of people that are in fact broke, when people do those sort of things, to know that they in fact forget their own issues. You may live with money. You may not live with money forever. That's just human. So I think that's all to be said about this video. I'm about to close up on even that. I talk too much and talk too long, and I should. Because some people don't talk enough. They just sit back and watch people say. I'm saying when you go on Instagram, yeah, when you be on there and you be like, where nobody is I'm saying they read the post of people, right? And yet they don't get busy on their own line. And yet I respect people that do whatever, right? Because I guess they're there to be entertained or what, and that's the point, right? Such as on the end of my end, entertaining individuals and other people doing that sort of thing. But to each his or her own. But I go real slow. I go real slow and try to live in the moment, despite me in fact preparing for 10 years ahead. So yeah, I'm about to close out with Michael and Elvis. Michael was known to live that way as well, prep and prepare. He just made wrong decisions pertaining to his finances, and yet who doesn't sometimes? Yeah, in fact, the lesson is in that too, as in prepare for, yes, the worst and all that other stuff, and focus on the good. And make sure you try to, if you only got a little bit of money, try to, yes, prepare for even that, such as disaster if you can, putting a little bit, $10 here, $15 there, away to the side for a rainy day. My dad used to teach me that sort of thing. Not everybody does that, but just in case. Because not everybody's meant to be a million, zillion, quadrillion year. That don't even make sense. Not everybody's meant to be a millionaire, billionaire, right? And so to know you gotta survive and take care of your household and your home and make sure you don't fall out of line with even the funds and the meaning that is to say, save, yeah, whatever you have sometime. I'm sure if Michael was alive or Elvis or any one of them was alive, they will say that sort of same thing, even though Michael already said made some bad decisions spending his money up. That shows the human. That shows the issues of human level, right? The lesson. I don't think Satan was there to teach that lesson. I don't think Satan was sitting around saying, you know what, Michael, spend all your money up so when you die you can teach everybody that they should get a hold of their finances, as in so they can learn from you. And I'm Satan teaching you this before you die. I don't think that, no. I think somebody else was in on that, possibly God or the universe, but yeah. So I think that's all to be said for now. The video is winding down on the tape feed. On the tape feed. What? Leave me alone. All the haters. To make a long video, make it real drabby is to know all the haters can't stay on even that, as in their attention is not there, the span of attention. And the flickering and all the rest, right? Just to tell a hater or whoever else, many of them, to get lost with that. Whoever don't like me, whatever, right? Because at the end of the day, I'm human as well, and I'm prone to mess up and fuck up and all the rest. And even that could be a lesson to teach even you on your end what not to do. Getting carried away with my mouth and saying stuff absolute without no drink involved. That could be, in fact, why I'm here to teach even you what not to do. Being all corrupt on my end and scandalous in the mouth with the layering of Hollywood set on top. That could, in fact, teach a normal person their place, as in where to be and stay and stick and not become one of me with that. So we're on ID. Yes, that's Hollywood as well. Some people don't know that. Discovery is Hollywood. Yes, it is. In fact, is. So recommended for you, Hollywood Hunter. Shouts out to Lieutenant Joe Kenda. ID. The logo stands up above. It sticks, as in there's bliss in that. See, yes, live now. See no evil. You might, in fact, want to click that and check that out. When you click this, it's going to, in fact, take you to that, as in what is going on live right now. Recognition. So, yes, Homicide Hunter, Lieutenant Joe Kenda. He does what he does. Description is right there. You can, in fact, add that to your favorites. Fatal Vows. That's a good one as well. You know, marriage and the failure with that sort of thing. Yeah, don't go killing people in the middle of the night or even the sun. I'm saying even over the sun, like killing people over some crazy love. Pamela Smart, Deadly Women, American Monster, Red Rum, Blood Relatives, Perfect Murder. Everything has a description. Unlocked episodes, The Last Defense, The Crime and the Trial. You can add, yes, that to your watch later when you click this right here, the plus sign. I already mentioned Lieutenant Joe Kenda, The Devil Speaks. Season 1, Episode 1. You can add that, yes, to watch as well later on. Some people don't want to sit and watch stuff all the way through, but once again, about technology, you can always come back to these sort of things, as in when you stop watching something, it helps to go back. Sugartown, Someone You Thought You Knew, Tamron Hall. A Deadline, yes. Crying with, hold on Last Night, sign in with your, yes, your provider for that sort of thing. Evil Lives Here, The Last Defense. See all that? That's a pit stop in itself. As in a aim over the chain, and yet ain't one around my neck, or is it? A herringbone. Yeah. When you scroll down, you would in fact see the schedule preview. You see the crime feed news. When you click on even that, it's going to take you outside to the link of the crime feed. Yes, that's all the news of the scandalous individuals in which even they chose to be the misfits and all the rest that don't fit with the norm. Red crimes, hidden murders, a homicide detective, a city of corruption, and a killer on the loose. Red crimes, hidden murders. Download the free app now. To click that is to get in on a fit-in. Play your position with that. Yes, then you have the newsletter. Is right down here. Join a newsletter. You just fill that in with your email and all that type of things. Yeah, and you would in fact be guided with that. So I think that's all to be said for now. I'm going to end this video out. I wonder if Michael Jackson or Elvis Presley was alive today, what would their life be? And not only that, with Michael's kids being alive and well and healthy and sometimes bizarre, Paris herself, Paris, yes, Blanket, yes, and Prince, even he favors Elvis. I'm saying sometimes Michael's son, his hairstyle, but not completely. I'm wondering how their life would in fact be. That's odd. Or Elvis Presley, how his life would be. I'm going to ask and question even more of that. The celebrity lifestyle, as in when you go and you live and then you die, as in a croak off, right? What would the life be today? Because to say soon enough, even Michael Jackson's kids are going to start to begin to have, yes, Elvis Presley, his daughter, yeah, she's old enough or whatever, right? Whatever on her end that she done did and had, right? But what Michael's, his kids is to know soon enough they're going to begin to start to have their own kids. And it's always been questionable if mental illness ran in the family, the Jackson family, and even on the end of Michael. When I spoke on the anxiety disorders and all that type of stuff and panic and all that other stuff, is to say if Michael's kids were to have their own kids, yes, Paris, Blanket, yes, Prince, if they all, yes, Prince Michael, whatever you love to call him, I call him Prince because he reminds me on that level of, yes, the prince in which he stands, Michael's son. The name is fitting, so let it stick for all the Michael haters, right? Prince, when you mention that name in that form, they say, well, I can't stand him, I hate him. Well, so what? So anyway, so that's the ask, well, could mental illness have ran in the family of the Jackson family, right? Michael, his own, as well as his kids, because see, for even Paris herself, Michael's child, right, to act out in the way that she did and had to go recover with that, right? That's to ask if she was to lay down and have and formulate her own children or Blanket, right? Would they have that sort of thing too? Because even mental illness is known and prone to run through the family, past generations and all the rest. That sort of thing you in fact want to ask. Even before you start creating kids. Dear Paris, I wonder, yeah, that sort of thing you would in fact want to ask, because that's not to say, well, you know, Michael's daughter Paris, that's not to say prevent her from having any type of children, but if she got mental illness and say she deals with that sort of thing over there, is for her to even say, well, should I even go and make babies, or possibly just get a dog or a cat or something else in place of that sort of thing, because the struggle and live with that is to say that sort of thing is pronounced as it is. It in fact, mental illness is known and prone to kill people. Look at what happened to Michael himself, despite having health conditions, right? And Elvis, right? There's mental issues up underneath that. But even with Paris, it's to say if she had her own child, how would she be able to deal with them if they were birthed and born up under her womb and have that sort of thing? Michael's daughter, say she have a little boy or a little girl or a set of twins or something like that, how would even Paris be able to deal with that? She will more likely have to lean more into her family with the support with that sort of thing to handle that and not mismanage that. Because even Michael's niece, she in fact, yes, came out and spoke about Reeby's daughter, yes, to be specific, came out and said that she had bipolar disorder, right? And that was after Michael's death. The family did that to spread awareness, yes, even in relation to their family and their struggles in life. Yes, Reeby on her end, her husband died and all of that, right? A cancer, right? But yet to pose awareness on even that is to say, yeah, you want to be careful with having children. And that's not bashing mental illness or bipolar issues or disorders or none of that. That's not to bash that, no. That's just to help to slow down the suffering, as in if you want to create a baby and then that child say be born with that sort of thing. You being a Jackson, child of Michael Jackson, or many children, because even I can't state that sort of thing when it's question of if Michael has more children that's been presented on the TV screen. I'm saying it's always question of if Michael Jackson has more children. I myself know other individuals in fact know whether that's a truth or if it's not, right? Helps to bring awareness to that. 2. Elvis. I wonder if Elvis has more children anywhere. But yeah, the human struggle is so real. Because I'm wondering, I see Paris. Yes, I do. I pay attention to things in which I don't speak on. Paris, Michael's daughter, and all that situation. You want to, in fact, take care of mental situations before you start to become an actress or go into modeling and all that. You in fact want to clean some of that up before you start doing it. That way you don't get too reckless while you're on a job and all that other stuff. Paris herself being Michael's child, right? Yes, biological with that, as in those who's asking. And hating. People that hate, well, Michael's kids don't look like him. Well, Elvis Presley daughter don't look like him. Maybe or maybe not, I don't know. I ain't trying to pin those two together even more than what they already are. But yeah, that's all to be said for now. So I think I'm going to go to the left, as in out the door with even that. So you enjoy your day and I will in fact enjoy mine. I gotta make another video, or I might in fact pause that out till tomorrow. So let your mind be at ease and rest in even that, if anxiety is there. That's all. That's completely it.